Tech sales is still the best career in 2026 if you have what it takes. I'm a Salesforce Account Executive. I've been a BDR Manager. I've seen this industry in and out. I'm going to take you through what it pays, why you'll fail, or why you'll succeed, and just like the honest truth that most sales gurus hide. I'm going to start by making the case for tech sales, and let's go into actually what it pays first so you can fully understand why I think this is the best. So I'm going to show you this little chart here. As you can see, sorry, this is really going to piss me off how slow this is. Let's go over the timelines on the bottom. So SDR BDR is the entry-level roles. SDR, you're taking inbound leads, and BDR, you're cold calling. So if somebody like sends in a website saying, hey, I want a quote, or I'm interested in your services, the SDR will call them and set up a meeting with the account executive. Then they'll promote to BDR, and then BDRs are just cold calling people that haven't yet expressed interest. You can go straight to the BDR role and then promote to AE. That's what I did because I didn't care about it being harder up front. I just wanted to speed up the timeline as fast as possible. So you're stuck in this role for SDR typically 18 months, then BDR another 18 months, then you promote to account executive if you're lucky and you hit your numbers and you're at a good company. SMB is split up into different segments based on how big the companies are you're selling to. AE is split up into segments. SMB is small, medium business. Mid-market is companies, above, 500 and below 3,000 employees. Every company splits that up differently. And then enterprise, like the big old companies like Apple, Google, Intel, Tesla, right? These are enterprise companies. You make more money as you go up. Timelines could vary. You could promote in 6 months if they have headcount and you're crushing it. You could promote in 3 years, right? This is on average what I've seen. So let's go into the base pay now, or the pay. SDR is going to make a little less than BDRs because it's a lot easier to do. Base pay is going to be from 40 to 55. Commission will be from 20 to 25K. If you hit your number, which is OTE, on target earnings, if I hit my target, this is what I'll earn. Between 60 and 100, you can make up to 100. This is like hard science, these numbers. This is just what I've seen, the potential. So don't hold me to that. But you could make 100K as an SDR for sure. Now, I do know BDRs that I make at 130K, but your base bumps up. I never advise my clients to take less than a 50K base package and 80K OTE. 110 is the highest that I've seen someone land in a BDR job. And then once you promote to account executive, you'll see that the base pay really doesn't jump up too much. The commissions do. Because you're actually closing business, you'll get comped on what you bring in. So typically in tech sales, it'll be like a 50-50 split. If you have 160K OTE, half your base will be 80 and the other half will be commission. But if you crush your number, you can make well past that because you're an account executive. They comp you for what you close. When you're BDR, your commissions aren't as heavy because you're just sourcing deals. It's just less skill involved. I know SMB AEs that have made well over $200,000. Once you promote to mid-market, it just bumps up one more, as do your upside potential. And enterprise is really where you want to end up. I know enterprise reps that have made millions of dollars. On average, the base is, 150 is what I've seen, lower end 110. If it's like a startup or something, I don't know. And then you could easily crush your number. Because think about it. You sign Apple. These deals are like multi-million dollars. Maybe it's a $10 million contract that they sign. 1% of 10 mil is 100,000, I think. All right, so outside of just pay, here is why I'm an advocate for tech sales over every other sales job out there. You don't need a degree. I didn't go to college, and I had no experience. I literally was working in warehouses before my first BDR job, and 3 years in, I'm making multi-six figures. It's the only career that you can make 100K your first year. Not guaranteed, but you can make it your first year. It has super fast career development if you crush your number. It's entry level. I'll explain why I put that in quotes in a second. But like I said, I didn't have any experience when I broke in. Now that's kind of similar position you're in. You didn't go to college, or maybe you don't have any experience at all. And you watch the rest of this video and you decide it's for you. Check out the community in the link below. I made a step-by-step guide on how you can break into tech sales within 60 days, like everyone else that's gone through it in the community. I would have killed for this sort of information on my job hunt. And literally nobody has a free guide this detailed. If you want some more help, I'll DM you and we could see what that looks like. But it's completely free, guys. It's so detailed. Go check that out. We're not limited to promoting to AE, enterprise AE, and then being stuck here. If you wanted to go management, you could be BDR manager anywhere to here, and then AE manager, and then maybe VP of sales and CRO or CEO, it doesn't matter, right? Uncapped career development, car sales, or other sales, insurance sales. You can make a lot of money, but you're stuck. You can't grow. Your skills are just stagnant. Your paychecks are growing. Remote hybrid, that speaks for itself. And network is the biggest one that did it for me. I didn't go to college, so I didn't have a bunch of people that were like career oriented or like entrepreneurial or future focused. And breaking into tech sales boomed my network and my capabilities and just my development. When you're the dumbest person in the room, you learn a lot faster. And there's people that are hungry, young, driven, smart, entrepreneurial in the corporate tech sales world that I just didn't have access to because I didn't go to college. Now, the case against tech sales, and this is what most sales gurus will hide from you. AI uncertainty is probably the biggest one. I don't mean that like AI is going to take over the sales function. They have AI SDRs today, and they're really meant for mass outbounding. You can't have an AI SDR cold call someone from Apple and book a meeting that way. You just need humans to do the work. What I mean by AI uncertainty is like there's a lot of products right now that are getting wiped out by Claude. And if you join the wrong company, they're going to go under. And then you have to restart your cycle and be a BDR again for 18 months or whatever. But if you join an AI forward company like Anthropic/Claude, you're chilling. The saturated market part is the hardest part because as I put entry level earlier in quotes, there are hundreds of people applying to these jobs. And more times than not, there's going to be a handful of people with direct experience. And even though it's not a requirement to have experience to land this job, if you're going against someone with experience, you're going to go the person with experience, right? And so it's an entry-level market if you know what you're doing, and that's why I made that guide to help you get in. It's completely free. Go check it out if this is for you. Burnout patterns is in general in sales. Hiring cycles is pretty unique, though. SaaS companies, SaaS is software as a service. So tech companies will get a bunch of money from investors and then have pressure to grow. So they'll hire a bunch of people, and then if the revenue drops, they'll tank, and they'll have to lay off a bunch of people. So it's a really up and down market. Almost every tech company is like this. But if you're a top performer, you're chilling. But it's just not like the most stable if you go join an early startup. But if they boom, you're going to make a lot of money. Every sales culture is toxic because if you have an environment where it's competitive, you're going to have people that do whatever it takes to succeed. I've had a good experience so far as culture goes. And then commission and stability is the least relevant for tech sales because you have that base pay, which most other sales jobs don't have. And if they do, it's super, super ridiculously low. But I mean, if you make $500K in a year, it's not very likely that you made $25K each month. It's more likely that you made, $10K each month or $5K each month base pay, and then 1 month had a huge deal. You know what I mean? So it is unstable. Now, going into whether it's a good or bad fit for you. I won't talk through every single one of these, just the bulleted one, so you can kind of pause here and kind of heart check yourself. But I want to make this as easy as possible for you, determining if it's a good path for you. It's going to be a good fit if you're comfortable doing the hard work up front and not seeing the serious payoff later as an AE. It sucks being a BDR. It sucks being an SDR. If you want a quick win, this isn't it for you. You have to grind out and do the dirty work of the cold calls before you can promote internally. And you might have to do that a couple different times because if you get laid off or the company, goes to the dump, you might have to be BDR for 3 years. You have to be okay with that. That's very self-explanatory. What I mean by this, when you enter a company, they're going to make you do like cold calls on the floor with everyone else or live training with everyone else. And when you fail, it's so embarrassing. You have to be okay with being humiliated in front of everyone. And not just okay with it, but like strive for it. Like nobody's born with that skill, but I've learned over time that if I fail in front of 10 people, that's 10 people that can give me feedback. If I fail by myself, I get 0. So I don't mind failing in public, or at least putting myself in a position to fail in public to get as much feedback as possible. And that's how you have to think as well. Emotional stability. Not every month is going to be a good month. You might not even hit quota for a month or two, and then by month 3, you're crushing quota, you triple your number. If you're the type of person that needs hand-holding and needs reassurance, and you're not good at staying calm in the storm, this is not for you. I'm a believer. My faith is in Jesus Christ, and I know that he has the best plans for me. So even if it doesn't work out, I'm fine. And that's kind of how I dealt with stress, but I still get stressed out as well. That kind of talks to these 2 points right here. Inability to perform under pressure. If a CEO picks up the phone, it's really easy to start choking, or if people are just in front of you and you have to call in front of 10 people, that's hard to perform. Or maybe you're just behind on your number and you're under a lot of pressure, so you're trying to like close people hard and it's not working. You have to be able to stay calm during the storm and perform under pressure. And I already talked about that. So if this is for you and you've watched this video, like, wow, this is great. I have no idea how to start. I don't know how the hell I'd stand out with somebody with experience. Check out that community in the link below. Completely free. I'll DM you if you want some more help. We can hop on a call. And that's it, guys. God bless you, and I'll see you next weekend. Thanks for watching.